Today we're going to talk about donning and doffing, putting on and taking off a respirator. First off, we're not going to be talking about respirators that we use for COVID, these type of respirators, or even this type of a respirator, single band respirator, all good for COVID, but not good for asbestos-lead mold, things that we at Janus do. This respirator is a KN95 respirator. Looks a lot like an N95 respirator, but it pouches out much more than our traditional N95 respirators. It is not sufficient for work in atmospheres where we would be protecting ourselves with an N95 respirator. That might be silica, that might be valley fever fungus, that might be some mold projects, various other types of atmospheres, wildfire smoke or nuisance dust atmospheres where we want to wear a proper N95 respirator. For an N95 respirator, the regulatory agencies like you to put the respirator on. So top strap first and then bottom strap. You want to make sure that the bottom strap and the top strap do not crisscross. That's how they like you to put it on. I don't really think it makes a whole lot of difference. Put the bottom strap on first. Pull the top strap up and you're good. Put the N95 on. You see how it fogs up my glasses? Okay, and it fogs up my glasses because I have not used this metal band properly. If air can get out and fog my glasses, air can get in going around the respirator instead of through it. Most people, when they put an N95 on, they pinch in from the sides or they pinch like this to seal the metal band so it grips their nose properly. With that, doing that, can you see it's still fogging up my glasses? Not quite as much. I don't know if you can see it, but it's still fogging my glasses. I can still see it. What I've done by pinching in from the sides rather than starting at the top, I have created a little peak up here at the top of the nose. The band actually comes up off of my nose. It's because, again, I went like this or pushed in from the sides, which creates a little bit of a gap here, which will fog your glasses. What you want to do is make sure you start at the bridge of your nose. And so I want to put my fingers together like this. You can use two hands. And I want to push both down and in, down and in, and I want to come all the way down here. Now I'm not getting any fog on my glasses. That's your N95 respirator. Things to remember when donning and doffing an N95 respirator. KN95 and surgical masks are not as protective of a worker as an N95 respirator. An N95 respirator is not as protective of a worker's health as a HEPA filtered half mask. A mask that is not worn properly is not good enough for any exposures. A mask that is not properly worn does not protect you. N95 respirators will protect you from wildfire smoke, silica, and valley fever fungus if worn properly. N95 respirators will not protect you from lead or asbestos even if worn properly. Best approach to assure an N95 respirator protects you properly is to place your fingers at the top of the mask where the N95 covers the bridge of your nose, and then push down and in at the same time to assure that there are no gaps between the respirator's metal strip and your nose. If your goggles fog up when you're wearing an N95 respirator, you're not wearing it properly and the metal strip needs to be adjusted. When donning, putting on an N95 mask, regulatory agencies like you to put the top strap on first, but it doesn't really matter as long as the straps are not crisscrossed while wearing the mask. Thank you for taking today's training. Please proceed to the quiz.